Thanks for tuning in to High on Horror. I'm Drew.
And I'm John. This episode and every future episode is dedicated to all the horror hounds and smokers out there who want to expand their knowledge of the genre and have a good time.
Today we have Aliens Who Hunt by Sound on the menu. That's right, we're reviewing A Quiet Place Day 1, the third film in the series and a prequel.
And it's another week, another prequel produced by John Krasinski.
That's right. This one's starring Stranger Things' Joseph Quinn and Us's Lupita Nyong'o as they witness and try to survive the hostile takeover of aliens. Stick around, we can't wait to talk about this one. All that and more today on High on Horror. Interviews, reviews, and the latest news all rolled into one. Alright, if you hear that choo-choo-ing, you know what time it is.
It's time for Strain Wreck, the segment of our show where we tell you what strain we're getting wrecked on. I got us some lava cake. And reading here from Leafly, lava cake is a powerful indica hybrid made by crossing Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies with grape pie. Grape pie sounds like it would taste terrible.
I don't get it.
Lava cake produces deeply relaxing effects that ease the mind and body. The strain is ideal for after work, lazy days off, or for anyone seeking to relax. Lava cake is widely celebrated for its deliciously sweet flavor profile that puts out exceptionally smooth and cakey terpenes. Customers say this strain smells similar to freshly baked goods with notes of sugary dough coming through. Medical marijuana patients choose lava cake for swift relief of symptoms associated with chronic pain, stress, and anxiety. Growers say this strain grows in a dense bulbous structure with rich hues of purple and green camouflaged by dense glistening trichomes. That was wordy as fuck.
Yeah, it was. I was going to say,
They trying to sell it hard.
Damn, that's like one of us reading off our notes and trying to not fuck up these like foreign names. We are so bad at pronouncing names.
Relaxed, sleepy, and tingly. Flavors are pepper, mint, and vanilla. And dry eyes, dry mouth, and dizzy. Damn, that sounds like a terrible combo.
That doesn't sound appealing.
Right? This one of the reviews prior to writing this was incredibly stressed. I forgot that I was stressed completely. This stuff has a super interesting flavor when vaped. It almost reminds me of the perfume your grandma would wear. Question mark. I don't know why there's a question mark. I don't know. It's really weird, but as you can tell, the effects are satisfactory. Thanks, Grandma. There was another one I saw on here. Oh, man, where was it? This guy said, dabbed this bad boy, would definitely dab it again. And this one guy, he sounded very angry. I can't seem to find it, but basically he said, I was told this is good. It's terrible. That was recommended to me at the dispensary, but he literally said, I beg to differ. Like, you're real angry about some weed. But anyway, what you got for me? All
right, so drop whatever you're doing, except listening to this podcast because we need the listens, and go watch Night of the Zoopocalypse. Go watch Night of the Zoopocalypse trailer.
Zoopocalypse is definitely going to be another film.
Listen, Night of the Zoopocalypse is an animated feature film inspired by Clive Barker.
Okay.
And the plot goes something like this. One night, a meteor crashes into Culpeper Zoo, unleashing a virus that transforms the animals into strange and hilarious slobbering zombie mutants. Gracie, a young quirky wolf, teams up with a gruff and fearsome mountain lion to find a way back to her pack. The zoo is overrun. They must come up with a plan to get all the animals back to normal. Together, with the help of a motley crew of survivors, Xavier, the movie obsessed lemur. I'm stumbling all over words. Yeah. Xavier, the movie obsessed lemur.
Had the lava cake yet.
Frida, the fiery capybara.
Capybara, yeah.
Capybara, okay, and Ash, the sarcastic, fabulous ostrich, and Felix, the treacherous monkey. I've butchered this. I am so sorry, listeners. They embark on a perilous mission to rescue the zoo and defeat Bunny Zero, the deranged mutant king determined to spread the virus beyond the zoo walls. Welcome to the Zoopocalypse. Count me in. Night of the Zoopocalypse hits theaters March 7th, 2025. There's a clip on YouTube you can watch now.
Now, the question is, can it transfer from animals to humans?
Not from what has been shown in the clip that's available, but that'd be something to find out when we see the movie.
I wonder if it's getting a wide release. Do you know?
I believe it is. Yeah, it's one of those like Pixar or one of those like, big time.
I want to see a Pixar horror movie.
It's not Pixar, but it's like DreamWorks or something along those lines.
I mean, I know what you mean. I'm saying I just want to see Pixar make a horror movie. But yeah, well, we'll definitely have to check that out.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, now let's get on to talking about A Quiet Place Day 1.
All right, well, we're finally getting around to A Quiet Place Day 1. It is a 2024 apocalyptic horror film directed and written by Michael Sarnowski, based on a concept that he developed alongside John Krasinski. As the third installment in A Quiet Place franchise, the prequel and spin-off delves into the chaotic first moments of the alien invasion, focusing on Lupita Nyong'o's, I already know I said that wrong, but I'm not backtracking, character Samira, or Sam, a woman grappling with terminal cancer while trying to survive in New York City. The film's terrifying extraterrestrial creatures are blind, relying on their heightened sense of hearing to hunt their prey. Alongside Sam, the cast includes Joseph Quinn, Alex Wolff, and I can never pronounce my guy's name, the Jimin Hansao. That's so wrong. But I will say, he was fucking badass in fucking Gladiator.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He has one of the best I mean, he gets to end the movie, too. Okay, I'm not going to talk about Gladiator. But anyway, the latter reprising his role from A Quiet Place Part 2. Development for A Quiet Place Day 1 kicked off in late 2020 with Jeff Nichols originally slated to direct. However, after crafting a completed script, Nichols left the project in 2021. By 2022, Michael Sarnowski stepped in, catching the attention of Krasinski, and the filming took place in London from February to April of 2023. And when the city transformed into a desolate war zone overrun by alien invaders. The film premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival on June 26th of this year and was widely released by Paramount Pictures on June 28th, receiving strong reviews for its suspense and emotional depth. Earning $261 million globally, A Quiet Place Day 1 continues to expand the eerie, intense world of A Quiet Place franchise. And getting into Day 1 here, the plot centers on Sam, a cancer patient nearing the end of her life, living at a hospice near New York City. Her nurse, Ruben, played by Alex Wolff, convinces her to reluctantly join a group outing to see a marionette performance in Manhattan. While in the city, the group notices meteor-like objects crashing from the sky, signaling the start of the alien invasion. Panic breaks out as the creatures drawn by sound begin attacking people in the streets. A nearby ambulance explodes and knocks Sam unconscious. When she awakens inside the theater, Sam finds herself trapped with other survivors, including Henry, played by my guy's name I can't say, the Jamon Hunsao. I say it different every time.
Just call him Digimon?
No, that'd be fucked up. I ain't gonna call him Digimon. He silently gestures to her, urging her to remain quiet. The military broadcast warnings from helicopters, advising civilians to stay hidden and silent until they can be rescued. The group soon realizes Manhattan is cut off from the mainland as fighter jets destroy the bridges to prevent creatures from spreading. That was some fucking Dark Knight Rises shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Just trapping them in the city with Bane. Okay, I ain't going to talk about Dark Knight Rises either. I'll keep going. Tension rises when one panicked survivor causes a commotion, and in a tragic accident, Henry kills him in an attempt to keep him quiet. Yeah, he just straight up murked that motherfucker. As night falls, the power goes out, activating a noisy backup generator. Ruben shuts it off, but inadvertently attracts a creature, which kills him after hearing his torn shirt, which I referenced last week on last week's episode.
Yeah, you did.
We probably don't listen to the outro, but we were saying last week we could not survive because we'd just be coughing too much.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying, is that this guy's torn shirt is going to cause the creatures to kill him, like, we're fucked.
We're fucked, yeah. Our heavy-ass breathing, we're done.
Overcome with grief, Sam takes her cat Frodo and sets out for Harlem because she wants pizza. This also felt like Shaun of the Dead. He's trying to go to the pub.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's in search of her slice of
Winchester.
Pizza.
Yeah.
So she sets out for Harlem, following the military's instruction that civilians would be evacuated by boat since the creatures can't swim. But along the way of the mass exodus of people making their way towards safety, that causes enough noise to alert the creatures, sparking a deadly stampede. Separated from Frodo in the chaos, Sam tries to escape in the opposite direction. During her flight, Sam encounters Eric, an English law student who narrowly survives the attack in a flooded subway station. Following Frodo's trail, Eric eventually reunites with Sam, though Sam tries to convince him to head towards the evacuation point. Eric, still in shock, follows her back to her apartment. He got separation anxiety.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Or he's stalker.
There he learns about Sam's past as a poet and her deep sense of loss. Determined to leave the city, the two make their way through the ruins of New York. Along the journey, Sam inadvertently makes noise, alerting nearby creatures. Forced to hide, they flee into a flooded subway tunnel where they come face to face with a dormant alien. Wading through the water, the creature awakens and pursues them, but it eventually drowns, allowing them to escape. Seeking shelter, Sam and Eric stumble upon an old church where they briefly rest. Eric, intent on helping Sam, sneaks out to find her pain medication at a pharmacy. He also manages to rescue Frodo from a construction site, and as the two reconvene, Eric discovers a nest of creatures feeding on strange organic pods, overseen by a large alpha creature. During their respite, Sam reflects on her childhood, recalling memories of watching her father play jazz in Harlem and their shared tradition of getting pizza afterwards, something she'd always dreamed of doing one last time before her illness overtook her. In an attempt to fulfill that wish, Eric takes Sam to a jazz club in Harlem and performs a magic card trick to brighten her spirits. There they share a bittersweet moment of solace, but as the dawn breaks, the creatures once again close in. Sam, realizing her time is short, sacrifices herself by drawing the aliens away with noise. She smashes car windows to set off alarms, distracting the creatures long enough for Eric and Frodo to make their escape. Henry, who has survived, pulls them into a boat as they leave Manhattan. As Eric and Frodo sail to safety, he finds a note from Sam tucked inside her sweater thanking him for reminding her to truly live. Meanwhile, Sam, now alone on a deserted street, listens to Nina Simone's Feeling Good on her iPad. Accepting her fate, she smiles, letting the music blare from her headphones, attracting the nearby creature in her final moments.
Man, this movie has a ton of heart. A ton of heart. Lovable characters that you're rooting for from the jump. John Krasinski, who did the prior two films, gave the reins of this prequel to Michael Sarnofsky, as you had mentioned prior, who had done Pig with Nicolas Cage in 2021. Krasinski told Michael that they wanted to make Day One a movie and have it take place in New York. But besides that, he really let Michael make the characters and the movie his. And he had the freedom to do what he wanted. And that's awesome because this movie shows you the potential that Michael Sarnofsky has as a director and how good he is. The dynamic between Sammy and Eric is really good, man. It's great. I loved them as a team. At first, I was like, I don't know. But then, like, when you get to them, once it gets going, I really love them together. Funny little bit here. Joseph Quinn said that he'd pick Lupita out of any of his other co-stars he's worked with to be his partner if A Quiet Place were for real. Both were standout performances. I really wanted Sammy to get her pizza too, so bad. I was glad she did. Knowledge nug here. Lupita said that the best pizza she ever had was a margarita pizza that she had in Italy. Anyway, there's top-notch suspense left and right, amazing effects, with a strong story and a lot of gut and heart. This was a solid hit for me. I'm loving this series. We'll see where they go next. Lupita wants to see A Quiet Place take place in India. That would be interesting. I originally was going to give this movie an 8.5 out of 10, but it's too high. Probably going to end up giving it more of like a 7.75, but for right now, I'm going to give it an 8.
You like margarita pizzas?
Honestly, it depends on where I get it from. It's like sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't.
All right, so I thought the movie was decent overall, but I feel like I've had my fill of A Quiet Place films for a while. The first one was really something special, innovative, intense, kept me on the edge of my seat. But now the whole concept of watching people tiptoe around in total silence just doesn't hold the same appeal for me. It's like, how many times can we see these characters struggle to stay quiet before it gets repetitive? Lupita and Joseph, I mean, both gave solid performances, no complaints there. They brought the necessary emotion and urgency to their roles. But beyond that, I couldn't help but feel like the film didn't add much new to A Quiet Place's universe. It's not bad, it's just there. Like, nothing groundbreaking, nothing that really gripped me the way the first one did. And can we talk about the creatures for a second?
What about them?
I found it odd that these aliens who have managed to master interstellar travel can't swim because their bodies are too heavy. You'd think with all their advanced technology, they would have figured out some way to overcome, like, a basic physical limitation. Like, I mean, damn, we got subs. Like, they couldn't figure something out.
I guess they just figured, hey, fuck it, germs wiped out. War of the Worlds aliens, so water will wipe out these fuckers.
I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of a plot point that stuck with me, kind of like, really? But I don't know. I don't know if I feel the urge to necessarily rewatch this anytime soon.
Okay.
It's kind of like how I feel about the Scream franchise. I love the original, but that's enough for me. I don't need to keep revisiting the same formula. I give it a 6 out of 10. It's not terrible, but like I said, I'm not in a rush to see it again either.
Okay, fair enough.
But, yeah, I feel
so
like
not bad reviews.
Yeah, like, I don't think it's not a bad movie. It's just, okay. Like, we got to be quiet. I feel like I'd feel the same way if, like, they kept making Bird Box. I mean, I think they've made a sequel, didn't they, to Bird Box?
I believe they're making it. I don't know if it's made yet, but
I feel like it'd be the same way if they kept making, like, Bird Box movies.
It's kind of like Final Destination too. Like, how many times can you really, like, avoid death?
If
like,
somebody cheats death, and then death gets them.
Exactly. So yeah, it's one of those same things where it's like, how many times can you how many different scenarios can you honestly come up with that are going to keep being intense? Where, like, you have to be quick. Okay, there was the being pregnant was good. Giving birth. That's one of in the first one. That's one of those oh shit, moments. But, like, how many moments like that can you possibly come up with? Like the series is going to be based off of people just trying to brainstorm ideas of, like, what would be really intense to try to pull off if you had to be quiet, and that's what the movies are just going to be made of. And it's like, that's not really that's a plot point. That's not a plot.
And like, because I was thinking about, like, because like I said, it's not bad. And that's kind of what I thought about was, would I rewatch this? And I was like if it came on, like, Peacock or something, even for free, I don't think that I would go, oh, day one's out. I'm gonna check this out. But, like, if Nicole wanted to watch it, I'd be like, oh, okay. Like, it's not that I wouldn't watch it. It's just I can't. I'm like, if I owned it, how many times would I watch this? And I feel like I just keep, like, skipping over it.
But that's what I was gonna say. I feel like you're definitely onto something with the rewatchability. It's not that it's not rewatchable. It's just something I wouldn't necessarily feel like that stands out enough to want to rewatch like that. I feel like its rewatchability comes from the next one coming out in a few years and then going, hey, you know what, maybe, like you said, your wife or somebody wants to go back and revisit the series and get caught up before watching the new one. That's the type of way I can see it being rewatched.
And I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll watch it.
But to be sitting here and going, what should I watch? Let's watch A Quiet Place day one. I think you're right. I don't think I'd... Yeah, it's too heavy emotionally of a movie for me to
the emotion was done well,
like
especially towards the end of the movie. I thought was well done, but the rest of it, I'm just like, you guys got to be quiet.
Yeah, I also love, and I remember going off about this on the podcast before about I just can't stand when people won't give horror its credit because it's like it's really annoying, and I'll go back to The Exorcist winning Best Drama in 1973 instead of winning Best Horror Movie. The real like jip there is the fact that the Best Drama of 1973, I don't know what it was, but it didn't get its award because The Exorcist got it when it should have gotten Best Horror Movie. But the same thing with Danny Boyle saying 28 Days Later isn't horror. John Krasinski has repeatedly said that A Quiet Place isn't a horror movie. It's he didn't even want to call it like a suspense movie or a thriller. He's like, it's just a realistic movie of humanity and what would happen if something like that. It's like he's trying to be this elite Hollywood guy. So it's like, let's not say A Quiet Place is horror,
I mean,
even though it's
he could-
successful and we're 3 movies in. Let's not say it's horror. It's got to be some sort of artsy. It's A Quiet
The
Place.
smart one would be to say sci-fi.
Yeah, but because sci-fi is then considered B-movie and cheesy, so you can't say that either. You have to tiptoe on these lines.
Unless you're Chris
and I
Nolan.
just hate it, and that's why I will always support movies like Terrifier and stuff, because you have people like Damien Leone, and those people just full on love horror and they embrace it. And they're like, "Fuck no, my movie's a horror movie. You don't like it, fuck you." That's the attitude I want. I don't want somebody that's like, wearing a fucking button-up shirt, going, "I just made a horror movie that I'm going to cash in on the horror community, and all those people that are going to buy all this merchandise." But when you ask me, I'm going to lift my chin up and go, "No, it's not a horror movie. It's a movie about humanity." Get the fuck out of my face with that, dude. I can't stand it. It pisses me off so much.
Yeah, this
it really
made you
does.
angry.
Yeah, I hate that. Just give shit its credit, man. Give shit its due. Like, seriously, because you got people cashing in on shit like Danny Boyle. How many, there's comic books about 28 Days Later, and people, make figures of that film, and there's not so much necessarily merchandise, but just hardcore fans of that movie, and then you have him going, "It's not a horror movie." What the fuck kind of movie is 28 Days Later if it's not a horror movie? You got a movie, it's just, it's an action
Evil
movie.
Dead Rise
is it
is a horror
action? No.
movie.
Is it drama? No. It's the only, but whatever, but let's not say it's horror, because you want to be artsy fartsy and make a name for yourself, and that shit's really annoying to me. So yeah.
On that note, let's wrap this thing up.
Man, I liked the movie, and then I ended on a negative note because of this conversation. This weed does suck. What the fuck?
Thanks to all the horror hounds and smokers out there for tuning in, and like this shit. It helps us out. And make sure to subscribe, because a lot of you watching aren't subscribed according to YouTube, so shame on you. So make sure you subscribe. We need it. And send us all your money if you can. Anyway. Anyway, moving on. To be determined for our next episode. We'll figure it out. It's late at night. We ain't discussed it yet. So you'll figure it out when it gets released, I guess.
A lot of good shit out right now. Terrifier 3. What was the one we were just talking about? With
Heretic
Grant?
comes out in
that's
November.
Heretic. Couldn't remember the name of it.
I've been looking forward to that one.
Me too.
Anyway.
A lot of good shit coming up.
Eye on Horror 420, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Threads. We have threads?
I don't think we have
No,
threads.
we don't have threads.
What is Threads?
I don't know. That's why I was joking when I said it. We're not
We
probably
have no
going to do
idea.
that shit now.
Anyway.
It's hard to keep up. There's too many social media outlets anymore.
There is, yeah. Anyway, high-on-horror420 at gmail.com for them PPA questions. High-on-horror.com. Check it out. You can check out some previous episodes there as well. And I guess I'll about wrap her up. Catch you later.
See y'all next week.